a copy of the Female Eunuch? You want a copy of the Female Eunuch?
The Female Eunuch? Germaine, I must ask you, first of all, what do you mean?
It's impossible to castrate a woman, at least as far as the definition is concerned, in a dictionary.
It's only impossible to castrate a woman because it's assumed that she has no sex from the outset, because she's assumed to be a castrated thing from the outset. I mean, I didn't castrate women. Freud did. But I just take issue with Freud on that basic thing. Because I say that just as a bullock doesn't know what it's like to be a bull and doesn't know what he's missing, so women who live in the normal circumstances in our society don't know what it's like to be really female and really human and really in control of all their potential. There is an element of hatred and rejection in men's relationships to women, which women are unfortunately unaware of at their peril. If you think of Norman Mailer's statement where he said when a man makes love to a woman, he empties all his bad and all his good into her, this is the spittoon theory of womanhood.
Sexual politics has something to do with the act of fucking being to the advantage of the one who fucks and to the disadvantage of the one who is fucked. And the one who is fucked, be it male or female or a goat or a pig or a stone, is always characterized as female and inferior.
The town hall debate where Germaine Greer went toe-to-toe with Norman Mailer, who was at the peak of his fame at that time, was one of the great moments in the history of women. The defiance, the glamour, the power, the intellect, the style.
And not only was she very, very sexy, but she was obviously the most intelligent person at the table, and she just ripped everybody to bits. She was just ravishing. Here was this powerful, sexy woman who had it all, and she could be anything she wanted to be.
Do we have one last question, Norman? Okay, Anatole Broyard will give the final question.
Now, I would like to ask Germaine Greer, as having a peculiar aptitude for this question, to describe, perhaps in the form of a one-act play, what would it be like to be a woman and to have the initiation and consummation of a sexual contact, so that now we can get down to the particulars of the evening? What would it be like after liberation, ideally?
Why do you ask this question?
Because I don't find it anywhere in the literature. I don't.
Why do you expect to find it anywhere in the literature? Norman describes a state of affairs that exists, namely where he is at. You ask me to describe a state of affairs that doesn't exist. It's a perfectly unreasonable demand. What makes you suppose that liberation has happened?
Well, I tried to make my question non-polemical. I'd like to say that I'm...
you did.
Well, all right, perhaps I didn't succeed. I really don't know what women are asking for. Now, suppose I wanted to give it to them.
Listen, you may as well relax, because whatever it is they're asking for, honey, it's not for you.
Now...
Norman, you want to give the closing?
Yeah, all right, listen. Thank you all for an incredible evening. I'd also like to thank the 4 women who contributed 9/10 to the discussion.
You're great. You really are. It was worth being on this panel with you.
That's it.